I think in the future, historians will regard this period of time that we're living in now as a very bizarre time in history for a whole bunch of different reasons. But a major part of that, I think, is this casual miracles that exist around us but still don't seem to impact our lives very much. Like, this is undoubtedly going to be a second Gilded Age, but it's going to be different from the original Gilded Age. And here's what I mean. We live in a time in which things online are somehow more important and strangely more real than things that happen in real life. But because we still exist in meat space, when it comes time to try to translate value you've created online into value in real life, that check sometimes just won't cash. And once again, this was predicted by Jean Baudrillard in Simulacrum and Simulation. On this account, I've got almost 100,000 followers. I think I'm almost at 75K. And that's really cool. That's a lot of people. I sometimes get recognized in real life. That's an opportunity in which the simulation of fame that comes from this app translates into real life. But the thing that's bizarre about it is we all know that 71 to 75,000 followers is like not shit when it comes to real life. Like, that's actually not that many people. That doesn't change my material life at all. I would need 10 times that amount in order to have my real life be affected at all. And actually, sometimes, even if you had 10 times that amount, it might not matter. As an example, hopefully this won't sound too complicated, but my best friend runs a TikTok account for a world historical figure that is fictional. That is, the figure is fictional. He makes videos that are profoundly impactful for people's lives. He gets a lot of messages and a lot of posts and reposts, stitches, comments that are people being like, oh my God, I've never thought about my problems like this before. This is really changing my life. Holy shit, it's blowing my mind. And whenever he actually makes a video and tags someone from that video that is in real life, that person freaks out. They get so excited. They're like, oh my God, how did this account know this was me? Like, this is wild. And it's because he's running this anonymously. But one of the strange things about it is he's trying to publish a book, right? And all of these major publishers, despite the fact that he has nearly 1 million followers on all the platforms he's on, don't seem to be that interested. And I can strangely almost hear the disbelief in some of the people watching this video. They're going to be like, wait a minute, I don't understand. He's got all these followers, but he can't get this book published. Like, why is that the case? There's something I'm missing. No, you're not really missing anything. You're missing what we're all missing, what everyone watching this is missing. And that is that there is a gap between virtual reality and reality. You're not actually famous. You just have the simulation of fame. I have friends who have over 1 million followers and they're living paycheck to paycheck. Like, they can't barely afford their bills. They're not millionaires. At no other time in history, in world history, could you have 1 million people who have decided to follow you. Hundreds of thousands of people watch things that you say and do on almost a daily basis and be completely materially broke. Like, as an example, I made a TikTok 2 weeks ago that got a bunch of attention. It was about 250,000 views. And that was more people than have ever heard Henry VIII talk, King of England. 250,000 people never heard his voice in his entire life. And more people have heard mine. That's really weird that it hasn't changed my life at all. Like 0%. Doesn't help me pay my bills, hasn't moved me to a better apartment, hasn't really earned me more friends. I've connected with a handful of people on this app. Obviously, I'm grateful, but if I was going around glad-handing people in real life, I would have made more connections. They might not be quite as good quality. That is, we might not have connected over the things that we connected over here on TikTok. But it is strange that that virtual reality, which is somehow, we all understand, incredibly important, doesn't really translate into actual meat space. And that's why I'm saying it's kind of a new type of Gilded Age. We're all competing for followers on this app. Everybody wants a following. Everybody wants to be a creator. This is the number one thing that young people want to be, are creators. They all want to be Mr. Beast. And the strange thing about it is, like, they will cater to that fantasy. And by they, I mean all the people who want your money will cater to that fantasy. But it is a simulation of being famous. It is a simulation of creativity and success. And the weird part is that the check doesn't cash. It doesn't change your material life almost at all. That's the case with most people. Isn't that weird?